Good afternoon, Patriots. Welcome to another beautiful Sunday Sit-Down with CV. Right now in Texas, it is pretty warm, but it is also starting to get kind of chilly in the morning and at night. We Texans do not like the cold. It's not normal. It's not usual. We don't like it. But we're also adaptable, so if it is cold, we will figure out a way to deal with it. Anyways, welcome back, guys. Hope you all have had a fantastic week. Hope you can use this day as a moment to reflect, to spend time with God, to serve as like a good, healthy reset for the upcoming week. And that's the point of these Sunday sit-downs, to provide a very brief word of encouragement, hope, and just a very brief mini lesson compared to the rest of the week. Also, I hope you all have enjoyed my new type of video that I started this week called CV in the Field. The idea behind it is to give you 2 videos each week, 2 very short glimpses into what I deal with on a regular basis. They came across as pretty positive, and so I want to keep doing that. Again, just keep giving you an idea on what I see each and every day. Another thing, I did apply for the department head position for history, so I should be finding out an answer on that this week. So, God willing, we'll see what happens. If I get it, great. If not, no worries. Ultimately, God's in charge, not me. And that kind of leads me into my main goal for this Sunday. That's my main goal for today's Sunday sit down. Whose law is true? In our current society, we see this thing called moral law, where things evolve over time, when things change, and if you don't comply with the new laws that society create, then you're in the wrong. Then you're horrible. Then you're just a really bad, horrible, terrible human being. But that's not God's law. That's not the true law. God's law is eternal. God's law is true and real. And if you're not a Christian, and if you have another belief, cool, follow that law. But bottom line for me, I'm a devout Christian. And during today's sermon, our pastor did a really good job at explaining that we as Christians need to be able to understand and recognize the difference between society's moral law and then God's law. And that no matter how hard we try, we're always going to be flawed. We're always going to be sinful. You can't change that. But what you can change is the ability to recognize the moments when you do mess up, when you do sin. When those moments happen, and if you realize that, man, I messed up, I need to seek God's grace, I need to live more like Christ, then you are living by God's law. But if you make mistakes, and if you sin, and if you don't think anything about it, you're just like, oh, whatever, it's a normal thing, whatever, then you're not following God's law, and you're not living like Christ. And so, to provide some hope and encouragement during these trying times, it's very easy to get disheartened when you see everything in our society just supposedly collapsing, and you think, oh, there's no more hope. This is terrible. It's horrible. Like, why is God letting these things happen? That question can lead to hours and hours of deep theological analysis. But for today, understand that, hey, some crazy things are happening right now. Yeah. But understand, God's in charge, not us. And if you try to understand every single thing, good luck. For me, I try to look at things as clearly as I can. I try to understand things as best as I can. But once I reach the moment where I've learned everything I can, and I've done all I can do, I then take a step back and realize that, hey, I've done my part, I've learned what I can, I've taught what I can. Now I give the rest to God. It's like, look, I can't control this, God. You are in charge. Everything is happening according to your will, because thy will be done. So, again, take these Sunday sit-downs as a moment to stop, to breathe, to reflect, and understand that, hey, I'm not in charge here. I will do the best I can with the tools and the time that I've been given. And I will try to be more like Christ each and every day. More importantly, if you want to have a fight in this, if you want to do your part, find what you're good at and use that in this fight against tyranny. I've said that before, I'll say it 1,000 more times. One more thing. I have a idea, a proposition, if you will. If there's anyone out there who wants to start homeschooling, or who wishes to get resources on learning how to teach others certain skills, certain things, next week I'm going to build a mind map that has all of the literal resources that I use for all the classes that I teach. So if you are a parent, and if you're homeschooling, and if you're not sure what to use, what to turn to, I will give you those resources. Completely free, no charge. I just want everyone to have the resources that I have. Secondly, next week's video is going to take a pause for a moment and go back to practical teaching skills. Next week's video is going to do a very broad overview on how to use different teaching techniques. Now, those techniques can be applied to any subject. I did a series on this a couple months ago, but now I kind of want to go back to that and just, again, provide more foundational resources for people who are trying to teach these things to their kids. So again, next week's video is going to be focusing on practical teaching skills, and I'll provide a bunch of resources that you can click on and boom, it's all there. So, yeah. So I hope you all have a great rest of the day. Make sure to take some rest, reset yourself, stay focused on God, and that's pretty much it, guys. Have a wonderful day. I love you all. Thank you so much for your support. Never surrender, never submit. This is Constitution Vet, signing out.